Okay, I'm walking to Alcobaca Monastery with my friends Margarida, Filipe, and Sara, and Ines, their little niece. And so we're going to this monastery, which is an UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it was founded by the first king of Portugal. But really excited to check it out. So I wanted to show you guys too. I'm a 54-year-old Filipino American living in the Algarve, Portugal. And here's a glimpse into my life. Okay, so we are walking to Alcobaca Monastery. There it is. Okay, so Filipe just told me that the monasteries, first of all, lots of kings and queens. There's several kings and queens that are buried here, but the monasteries in general were created so that they could protect themselves from Moorish invasion. Yeah, so it was really fundamental to have these monasteries to secure the land. Okay, here's all the information. Monastery of Alcobaca. Okay, rainy day, but okay, so Filipe just told me that this monastery was built over several centuries. So we're going to be able to see different architectural styles because it was initially built in the 12th century. So we'll see some Roman architecture, but then it also went through Gothic architecture, and then finally the Manuelin.
Yep.
Manuelin architecture, which is similar to that of Geronimo's monasteries. So yeah, let's check it out. Okay. Okay, we just entered the monastery, and what's so great is this is actually one of the museums that if you are a Portuguese resident or citizen, you can get that 52 voucher, which I just got. So now and it's a free entry to go see some of these national museums that are here in Portugal. But yeah, we just entered, and I'm looking at the courtyard behind me, but it's a cloister, and it's surrounded by these beautiful columns. And now I'm going to read about the foundation of the monastery here. So, yeah. Here I am with my dear friend Margarida. Hello. Yeah, hello. You're in my YouTube video. But we're going through the monastery now. So, yeah, I was like, Margarida, be in my video. So here she is. Hey. Hello, dance mom. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Okay. And, yeah. Filipe just told me that these elements right here, it's part of the Gothic style of architecture, and it was they used this to stabilize the walls of the building. Okay, so I'm learning a lot about architecture, but these crosses that you see on the ceiling, this is a sign of the Gothic architecture, and they use these crosses to stabilize the walls, because after, in this era, it was done to really glorify God, and so things were a little bit more embellished, and that's first was the Roman architecture, and that was a little bit more simpler, and then it moved to this period of architecture, which is a little bit more embellished. Okay, and now we're going to walk to the largest part of the cloister. This is the central cloister. I mean, look at this day. It's such a rainy day today, but good thing we're inside. You can see, I mean, how beautiful is that? Gorgeous. Okay.
It's the refectory, I think that's the name of it in English. Whenever you see those arches with a point, with a They are shaped like a bullet.
Yes.
Those are ogival arches. They are also typical of the Gothic architecture.
Okay. Okay, so this is where they ate their meals. I mean, I was just telling Filipe that, I'm just amazed that this was built 900 years ago, you know, and still standing. I mean, look at this incredible building, work of art, really. And just think of how much knowledge had to go into building this place. I mean, and it's still standing centuries later. Okay, so do you see how thick the walls are? It needed to be this thick, apparently, to stabilize the walls, or stabilize the building. Okay, so this fountain is not from the Gothic period, it's from the Renaissance period because it's more intricate with all the releases there. So, beautiful. Okay, so now we're walking into the kitchen. We're cooked, and this is a chimney because I'm gonna show you right now. Look. Ah, wow, okay. Okay, so that was just the monks' hall that we saw with all of those little desks. And apparently this is where the famous scriptorium of the monastery of Alcobaca was located. The dormitory, and we're now going to walk up the upper cloister. Central garden. I mean, look how gorgeous. And it was used to grow herbs. Oh my gosh, so pretty. I can't remember if I told you guys, but they had picked this area because of the agricultural opportunities. So this area is actually, the land is really fertile, and so they wanted to build the monastery and kind of build a little city here. And that's why they chose this area, because of the agricultural opportunity. This is one of the king's tombs. So I said that was a king, but it's actually an abbey probably, because we're in the room of abbeys. These are some of the head abbeys of the monastery behind me. Okay, so this is Manuelin architecture, Filipe is telling me. It's completely different, which it is. You can see it's different from Gothic, which is right there. Okay. Okay, we think this is the Manuelin architecture, but there's usually navy motifs which are not present. Yeah. So I guess we'll have to Google and see. It's beautiful though. Really beautiful. Yeah. This is the Hall of the Kings.
Baroque architecture.
Okay, so Filipe is just telling me that when we see the azulejos, it is indicative of the Baroque architecture, which was in the 18th century. And this is in the Hall of Kings. Beautiful. Okay, so I was told that the azulejos actually talk about the history of how this monastery was built. Here are the first, this is the very first one, when they laid the stone. King Afonso. On the south. And then it goes around, all around the room, and ends here. I wanted to take a video of this courtyard, this cloister. It's so pretty, so pretty. So this is the main church, and Filipe was just told me. I mean, the Gothic architecture. See how high it is. It was to reach the heavens, and that was, sort of the theme of this architecture. And look how thick the columns are. To support this structure. Okay, this is so exciting. This is the church, and this is where Pedro and Ines are buried, and it's actually a very tragic story. Because Pedro was the son of King Afonso, and he married this Spanish queen, but then she passed away. But she had a lady in waiting, Ines, she was Spanish, but was from a different faction in Galicia. And the Portuguese noblemen didn't like that faction. And unfortunately, they killed Ines. And in front of their 4 kids, I heard, which is terrible. But anyway, obviously, King Pedro, when he was anointed king, he sought retribution and obviously killed these noblemen. But it is a very, very tragic kind of Game of Thrones story. I'll have to Google it and send a link so you can get more of the story, but there's even in Coimbra, there's something called Garden of Tears. But yeah, very, very, very sad and tragic. You can't see it from the tomb because it's high up, but they make these little models. Here's the head of Ines. I was telling you, Queen Ines, head of Pedro, King of Pedro, and here's the tomb of Ines. Here's the tomb of Donna Ines de Castro. See, a Galician noblewoman with whom the then Crown Prince Pedro fell in love and was assassinated by order of his father, Afonso, in Coimbra. Oh, so tragic. Of Ines, go around. Oh my gosh, I almost tripped. Wow. Okay. So this is the new sacristy, and you will see the Manuelin architecture. So here it is. Here's the tomb of Pedro. Tomb of King Pedro. So this is Baroque, because it's from the 17th and 18th century, and Filipe just told me that if we see color, painted things, that it's usually Baroque. And it's, as you can see, from the 17th century. These are where some of the royal children are buried. Anyway, I hope you guys like this. Please don't forget to, share, especially for someone who is so interested in Portuguese history. This is an UNESCO World Site. It's one of the national monuments. Just so fascinating. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps. Okay, guys, well, have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Here's the front of the monastery. Entrance. Okay, beautiful. Now we're gonna eat lunch.